Welcome to the Manifestation Babe podcast. My name is Catherine Zinkina, and I'm a manifestation expert, master mindset coach, and multiple seven-figure entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping you achieve everything that you once thought was impossible. If you're looking to massively up-level your life, your finances, your relationships, your productivity and success, then you have come to the right place. My goal in this podcast is to help you see the infinite potential within yourself to be, do, and have anything that your heart desires. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of mindset development to help you maximize who you are and where you're going. Leave it to me to provide you with the tools, the resources, the strategies, and teachings that you need to manifest a reality wilder than your wildest dreams. I know we're about to have so much fun together, so thank you so much for pushing play today, and now let's begin. Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of the Manifestation Babe podcast. I'm in such a good mood today because I have been shouting out to every single person that wants to listen to me how much I love my new microphone setup. In fact, I got Brennan obsessed with it. He just finished recording an exclusive Make Money Work For You Q&A inside of the Manifestation Babe Academy for my students because the gift keeps on giving. We just keep adding things to MBA. It's insane. I was talking to my coach the other day how I am just obsessed with perfecting the same program over and over and over again. Like that's such a generator thing to do. Anyway, I'm also obsessed with perfecting my podcasting, my podcast equipment, my podcasting setup, the way that I sound, all these things. I'm just in love with this current microphone that I have, and I hope you do too, because it puts me in a really good mood. I don't know. I'm weird like that. I find it's like the little things, you guys. Sometimes it's not about the house or the car or the money. It's just like finding something that makes your life easier and running with that. So today's episode, as you probably may have guessed, we are going to keep going with the exclusive MBA Q&A series. I'm so excited about sharing these exclusive snippets from inside of MBA because previously you would have had to be one of my students to get access to these channelings of information that I do every single round, every other week when we have a Q&A, because we switch off between breathwork and Q&A sessions. And so for this month's podcast, because we are celebrating the doors opening to MBA on October 31st, which is, yes, right around the corner, when this podcast episode is going to be uploaded, which I believe should be the end of next week, which should be around, 26th to the 28th, somewhere around there. Got to talk to my podcast team after I record this intro. It's going to be Monday. Monday is right around the corner, which means that the Manifestation Babe Academy is going to open. So in celebration of that, I just want to give you guys a sneaky peeky of some really good content that I have. I mean, I have so much content in MBA. It's ridiculous. If you guys think the podcast is jam-packed, it's not until my team reminds me or shows me our FAQ library that we have. That is literally just snippets of exactly what I'm uploading into the podcast right now, except times hundreds. So imagine hundreds of these episodes on top of what you get inside of the podcast that you can only find inside of MBA. So I'm really excited to share this episode because this is a question I think I get every single round, and it doesn't matter what is going on in the world around us. Every world event, every crazy thing that happens in the world, everything that feels like it's so much bigger than us, and it has to do with the collective reality versus our individual reality. I get this question, and this answer came to me when I got it with this last round. Now, every time I get this question, of course, my answer is similar, but for some reason, the way I channeled this answer, I love. It's a really great answer in my opinion. And the question was from a student who was concerned about how manifestation seems to be this like very selfish thing. Like it's very I, me. And this person has a big heart. They have compassion for the planet, for other people, for the problems that are in the world. And this student, being this incredible student that they are, we're asking, how can I apply this to the world outside of me? Like, how can I use manifestation to stop a war, to stop systemic racism, to stop crazy ass leaders from doing stupid ass shit, right? Am I right? I mean, seriously. How can I stop climate change? All of these issues that feel so huge and outside of our control. And it seems silly that we're focusing on these things that have to do with our individual reality. I'm flipping it for you. And I'm going to share with you how I see this, what my perspective is, and why manifestation, even if it starts with you healing your own life, eliminating the crap that isn't serving you, getting out of your own way, manifesting things into your life, resources, people, support, really cool shit, ultimately changes the world. It really does. I'll show you how. So inside of this episode, you're going to get the answer to that question. It is a channeling. I'm pretty much reading it because when Vicky, who is the incredible creator of the Manifestation Babe Collective, which is a membership that we're opening up to our graduate students from MBA. She's also a customer success manager. She is in charge of the journey of our students. She's very involved with our students and very involved with our peer mentors. She often sends me things where she's like, Catherine, this is coming up over and over and over again. I don't know if you have addressed this. Maybe you have addressed this in a previous round. These students are struggling with this right now. Can you answer this question? And of course, right in that moment, I just wrote this thing out. So I read it to my students and it really resonated with them. So I feel like this should go on the podcast just so it lives on the podcast. Why not? And with that being said, the waitlist is open right now to the Manifestation Babe Academy. So if you're like, you know what, Catherine, yes, right now is my moment. I don't want to wait anymore. I don't want to wait until January 1st of some year, right, to finally start living my dream life. I want to start right now. I want to make New Year's Eve October 31st or October 30th, where October 31st, when the doors to MBA open, that is my new year, new me. I get to start it now. I don't have to wait because let me tell you, successful people, they do not wait. All right. They start now in this moment. They don't even wait for the day to be over. Like today is Saturday and it's already 4 p.m. and I'm like, oh my God, okay, maybe I'll record this tomorrow, because I spent my whole day with Orion and Brendan had to do a couple things. He was doing things for our students. And so I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll record this tomorrow. And I'm like, no. Like I don't have to wait until tomorrow to finish my task that I want to do today, that I want to accomplish today. I don't have to wait till tomorrow to move the needle forward. So with that being said, get on the wait list if you know that you are in and you want to be the first through the door, because I don't recommend waiting. It goes so fast. I am telling you, people miss the enrollment period every single time. Every single time Saturday comes around, the doors close and people think that we're going to leave them open, and we do not. We close those doors at midnight. We truly mean it. There's no sneaking in. There's no making your way in. There's no begging us. We mean it. Like we have to take this seriously because we go right into serving our students, and we cannot be focusing on selling when we are focusing on serving, right? There's a time for us to sell and there's a time for us to serve. We spend most of our year serving and only these 5 days selling, truly. So if you know that you want to be in, I recommend getting on the wait list, which you can find at manifestationbabe.com/MBA. And if you don't know what MBA is, it is my all-in-one, results-driven, extremely effective, super duper advanced. But don't let the word advanced make you think that you have to be advanced to get in here. I'm going to turn you into an advanced master manifester. And I know that might sound too good to be true, but you know what my style is, you guys? My style is taking something that sounds way too good to be true and actually making it that fucking good, if not better. That's my style. I am proud to be the queen of under promising and over delivering. So if you're looking at the MBA sales page and you're like, wow, there's a lot to promise here, guess what? That is an under fucking promise. Okay. And I will be over delivering. My students, they constantly comment this, so I can confidently say that I will blow you away with what's inside of MBA. So with that being said, manifestationbabe.com/MBA. That's M for manifestation, B for babe, A for academy. I can't wait to see you in there. And with that being said, enjoy this episode. We as clear channels are able to better assist and better elevate and better transmute and transform the world around us. But if we are not clear channels, meaning that we are in survival mode, which is very hard to help other people in survival mode when you are in survival mode yourself. Survival mode is the most selfish place that you can be in, and not selfish as in it's a choice for me to be selfish. Like, yeah, I'm just going to focus on myself. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. It's just you're very self-focused, right? That's what I mean by selfish. And so when we get out of survival mode, the next level of consciousness is like, okay, all my needs are taken care of. All the fun stuff in my life that I've always wanted to do are taken care of. What can I do beyond that? How can I help beyond that? We can only open ourselves up to beyond us when our needs are first taken care of. Because as Abraham Hicks says, and like a million other people, who knows, I don't even know where these quotes come from anymore because I hear it from so many different places. But you can never be poor enough to help the poor. You can never struggle enough to help those who are struggling. You can never suffer enough to help those who are suffering. It just doesn't work, right? You are not an energetic match to the solution when you're still in the problem. So you have to pull yourself out of the problem, access the solution in order for you to be the solution. And the more of us that do this, the more of us that commit to this kind of work, the more of us that get out of survival mode, that selfish mode, again, just self-focused mode, the more we are able to elevate the community. We are elevating the collective consciousness. The collective consciousness cannot be impacted unless we first impact the individual consciousness. So there's the individual reality, there's a collective reality, and sometimes they might look very, very different. But it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong or you're a bad person or you don't care just because your individual reality looks so good while other people's individual reality or a collective reality doesn't look so good. You are still contributing, and that's how your contribution begins. Okay, so let me read this channeling to you. I'll read the question and read the channeling to you. And again, it's a pure channeling. I literally have no idea. I didn't spell check it. I didn't reread it. I didn't do anything with it. Okay. So take it or leave it. This is my answer to this question. Aside from what I already said, which is pretty much the same thing, but I just went a little bit more into more detail. So someone said, and I have no idea because it was just a text from Vicky. And also, I have a hard time reconciling this work with some of the bigger things happening in the world, specifically climate change and systemic racism. Right now, my area is surrounded by catastrophic wildfires. They're growing massively every day. And my ancestral family home is being threatened by the fire. Many friends have been evacuated, lost their homes. I would love to know what you all feel about how to relate these larger global issues with manifestation, how you've dealt with this personally. It's really hard here right now. I feel like this may have been a post from someone, just the way it sounds. But here's what I have. The collective manifestation work and the individual work you've come to do inside of this course is essentially one and the same. The things that manifest in our life that we don't want or don't like or have a hard time with is pointing us to the shadows that we need to face within us that are creating these realities. The things that manifest in our collective that we don't want or don't like is hurting people and we're having a hard time with is pointing us to the collective shadows we need to face within us that are creating these realities. And let me tell you, collective shadows exist within all of us. And it all starts within ourselves. I can totally relate with your ancestral family home being threatened by fire.
My ancestral roots are completely bombed and completely overtaken by a foreign government as we speak. It's painful and causes so much suffering for my people. So how do we reconcile this work with some of the bigger things happening? Realizing that this is the bigger work. We are all roots of the collective. My energy plus your energy plus other people's energy is what creates what we see in our collective. And if we don't like what we see, we have to ask ourselves, what within us has created this? And what do we need to heal within ourselves in order to heal the world, the planet, the collective? It doesn't start with outward blame. It doesn't start with waiting on the collective to change. Remember, everything is just a mirror to the outside world. So what in your internal world can be shifted in order for you to help assist, raise the collective vibration and create a better world? By you being a positive light source, by your having the capacity to focus on these issues, by having your own needs met and entering higher levels of consciousness, because you can't get there via survival mode. You're the most selfish in survival mode. You're able to offer your help in any way, shape, or form you can. For example, systemic racism. How can you empower and educate yourself? Be the most inclusive, loving, non-racist person that you could possibly be, to pass on that energy to other people, to lift other people up into that energy, to bring equality to all, to make organizational changes within your family, your business, your own company, your own community. Maybe you can't heal your own, maybe you can heal your own internalized racism to make sure it doesn't live within you and all of the biases that live within you, and you don't contribute this energy outwardly. You become part of the solution. Fires, where can you donate because you now have an abundance of money to assist with? How can you help? How can you send energy to, where can you send energy right now because you have an abundance of it to send? Also energetically, what is this fire trying to tell me? What is currently burning in my life that needs my attention, or what is currently burning in the collective's life that needs all of our attention? How can I soothe an internal burning that is causing me pain in my own life? Climate change, how can I raise the collective consciousness about treating Pachamama with utmost respect by first treating myself with the most utmost respect and care, and treating those that I know and other people with the most utmost respect and care? In the case of the war in Ukraine, how can I love my son? This is for me personally. How can I love my son so much, create a healthy attachment between him and I, and provide these teachings to him so that he grows into being the most caring, loving, kind, flourishing, and fulfilled man to ever live on this planet? Yeah, I can't stop a fucking war by myself, but I can influence the future by seeing shitty ass leaders with overinflated egos who obviously have unhealed trauma being taken out on other people, innocent people, and make sure that I'm not this kind of person, and neither is anyone that I have direct influence on. That's where I can start. It's the beingness of who you are at the highest level that influences the doingness of the change you came here to create. I want to repeat that one more time. It's the beingness of who you are at the highest level that influences the doingness of the change you came here to create. Through this work, you're awakening yourself to help awaken others. These bigger issues truly start with you. And the ego's genius comes through by telling you, look, there's no point in this selfish work because the entire world is falling apart now, so you might as well not even try. It is overwhelming. But the entire world stops falling apart when you realize the entire world is within you. So that's my channeling for that question.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up the extra inspiration on Instagram by following @ManifestationBabe or visiting my website at manifestationbabe.com. I love and adore you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and manifest some magic.